Alright. Okay. God, it's been so damn long since I've streamed anything. No, it's not a Poro. Fortunately. I don't play League. I like Poros, but I don't play League. I haven't played League in like 2 years, so I'm a little out of touch. I hope I'm not so out of touch, though, that I forgot how to stream. Because it's been so damn long. I mean, let's put it this way. It's been so long that I don't remember all of them. I had to, like, rechange my stream key. Because it's been that long. It's been so long. The Poros be with you. I hope so. This game's long as hell. I don't even know why I'm streaming it, other than the fact that I've been watching speedruns. And the speedrun of this game is something like 19 hours or something. Something crazy like that. I don't know when I just started, like, I don't know, I was watching somebody do a speedrun of this, and the speedrun's freaking long. No. Sad face. Okay, so I've played the FES version of this game, and I played this version a while ago. I hope the audio's okay, because the audio in this game is weird. Turn that off. Alright. Let's hope I'm not hitting the mic. Yes, yes. So I'll be completely honest, I have no idea why they added a female main character to this game, because it seems like every time they redid this game, this is like the third time they've done it, they change how the game is. So like, the normal Persona 3 game has like a baseline of everything, and then they added the FES version, which adds... No, not playing Maniac mode, no. The FES version adds... like the epilogue to make sense of the main storyline, and it's usually a bad thing if your main storyline needs an epilogue to explain the storyline. Which also involves time travel, because this game isn't weird enough, or anime enough. So yeah, then there's the FES version, which changes a bunch of things, and rebalances the game, and adds an epilogue. And then there's the portable version, which is this version, which adds a female main character, removes the epilogue, and most of the animation. It also adds... So it sort of took the Persona 4... So it adds the Persona 4 battle system into Persona 3, because Persona 3 originally didn't have the ability... the ability to directly control your party members. So all your party members worked on their own in the original Persona 3 on the PS2. And then in Persona 4 they changed that, and this came after Persona 4, and so they were like, okay, well, let's just make it so you can control your party members.
This is the final train. Please take care.
Which is great, except for the fact they didn't rebalance the game at all. So all of the encounters are still balanced as if you didn't have control of your party members. They also added a bunch of things to change how you made money. So in the original game, all of the things that you could up your stats, your charm or your intelligence or what have you, required money. So you had to buy them, essentially. And then this, they add a bunch of part-time jobs that give you stats and money. Anyway, our main character's a moron. Protag Aegis. That's because our protagonist is a key, and Aegis is a robot, and of course. Also, our main character just wanders around a city that looks dystopian, and there's coffins everywhere, and he just kind of shrugs. Just kind of goes, yeah, that looks normal. All of this seems normal. Our protagonist apparently, yeah, an eerily gigantic moon. If the moon was that close, the Japan would be underwater, because the tides would swallow it up, and yet our protagonist just doesn't care at all. Yeah. In our mission pamphlet, apparently we just showed up. We never... Here's the thing. We're never told...
Welcome.
Oh yeah, so this is Death. Death's a child for some reason. I have no idea why.
If you want to proceed, there's no need. It only binds you to accepting full responsibility for your actions.
Yeah, so Death basically shows up as a young child, hands you a contract, and says, sign on the dotted line, don't ask questions. And like a moron, we just kind of go, okay. That sounds fun. It's the least weird thing we've seen so far. I should point out, this is not the same, this is not the contract you get when you enter the, what do you call it? The Velvet Room. That's a different contract. Our main character's a moron, he just signs everything. I don't remember which one they call you in this game, so I don't think it really matters.
Very well. Time is something no one can escape.
Oh yeah, Death talks a whole lot.
Delivers us all to the same end, and so it...
And bye, Death. He shows up occasionally to give you cryptic things and be depressing.
How can you be? Don't tell me.
Oh yeah, this is Yukari. Her main character traits are panicking and angsting, mostly. She has a tragic backstory. This is Mitsuru. She's kind of like a weird neo-fascist kind of character in some ways, and also she has a tragic backstory.
I didn't think. My name is Mitsuru Kirijo.
She's actually one of the better characters, believe it or not.
He's a transfer student. He'll eventually be.
We're never actually told why we transferred here, or for, like, at all.
Is it okay for him to be here? I guess we'll see. This is Yukari Takeba. She'll be a junior this. Hi, I'm Yukari.
Yeah, yeah, why do you have a gun? Yeah, we should have asked that. Is the worst in the epilogue? Yeah, that's because in the epilogue they basically forgot her entire character arc. The epilogue kind of just ignores her entire character arc that she goes through in this game. Because the problem is, this game, everybody has a tragic backstory. And they're all sort of resolved. Yeah, everything was fine except for, you know, the coffins and, you know, the blood and everything else. Because our main character doesn't think it's pertinent to mention fucking anything in this game. At all. Anyway, where was I getting at? Oh yeah, okay, so in Persona 4 and 5, they give you a reason for why you've transferred somewhere. In this game, they don't give you a reason. You just show up one day, and they're like, hi, you're here now. And we're like, okay, guess we're here. Guess we're here now. Alright, if I remember correctly, we're not supposed to, like, do anything at the moment. Oh. I don't understand this. They just bring you to your bedroom, and then are like, you should go to bed. And I'm like, well, why didn't you just auto-cut this out, game? Oh, well. So the one thing about the portable version that I think is an improvement is it cuts out all the running around.
It's Yukari.
Yeah, whatever.
Mitsuru, are you ready to go?
Yeah, whatever. So, anyway, now we have to go to school.
We have to take
Because of course we do.
to get there. Bet your last school wasn't like that, huh? This is my favorite part, when it feels like you're gliding over the sea. Our stop is Port Island Station at the end of the line.
She talks about the fucking monorail in better terms than she talks about anything else in this entire game.
Have you ever heard of Tatsumi Port Island? It's a man-made island. They built our school right in the middle.
They also built it on top of, like...
Look, you can see.
Like, a giant, horrible science project that went awry, and some crazy motherfuckers were like, you know what, let's put a school there.
Morning. Well, here. Welcome to Gekukan High. You're gonna love it here.
When you're not fighting for your life against demons.
You're okay from here, right? You should go see the faculty, and that concludes.
So she doesn't actually, like, conclude the tour. She basically just shows you to the school and then goes bye.
Me? Hey, about less. See you later.
So she doesn't actually, like, tour you around at all. And I will say this is probably an improvement over Persona 3, because Persona 3 had a really, Yes, we need to enter the faculty office.
Oh, are you the new student?
Okay, this is...
Wow, let's see.
Oh yeah, your parents died 10 years ago.
I'm Miss Toriumi.
Okay, so Toriumi is part of a social link later. Yeah, totally not foreshadowing, because this game,
Wow, have you seen the classroom assignment? But first, follow me.
Okay, so Toriumi is part of a social link later. Anyway, here's the principal. He shows up like twice in the entire game. This is the first time.
I'd like each of you to remember when applied to... Psst. Hey, you came to school. I saw you. Hey, do you know if she... Man, I mean, what? Wait.
I believe it's someone in Ms. Toriumi's class.
I don't know who this is.
Be quiet. You're going.
I don't know who that is. I don't think it really matters. Oh god.
How's it going?
This is Junpei. He has a tragic backstory. Yeah, what do you want?
Come on, I'm Junpei.
He's also an idiot, but he's less of an idiot than the idiot character in the next two
See what a
games.
nice guy I am? Hey, I didn't think we'd...
So Junpei is actually, like, not
I swear you'll talk to
hateable the
anyone
way
who'll listen.
Yusuke is, or in the way Ryuji ends up being,
Did
in
you
a lot of
listen?
ways.
If you say
Um,
anyway.
Junpei actually has a character arc, because all the characters have character arcs, which is nice, but they all sort of
Why are people
have horrible, tragic backstories.
You didn't say any. Don't take
Anyway.
it seriously.
Anyway, I'm skipping through all of this because nothing that happens in the first hour of this game matters at all. I'm not joking.
But hey, believe it or not, she's actually... this...
Okay, so, like, nothing that happens in the first hour,
Well, say, you'd be joining...
like, matters at all. Because it's all tutorials. Anyway.
Welcome.
So, forgive me for skipping through it. I will give you the relevant information. Alright. And, thankfully, this allows you to just go back to your room. Because you can't really do anything at first.
I'm going out for a bit.
Okay, this is Akihiko. He has a tragic backstory.
Seen this?
I know.
I've
seen it, and they say it's.
Yeah.
His main thing is he likes punching things and punching things, and that's his entire character. For the most part.
This isn't a game.
So yeah, that's his thing. He likes punching things a whole lot, and he has a tragic backstory. And anyway, yeah, Junpei is pretty awesome. He's a pretty decent character. I wasn't actually paying attention. I know I'm going to get some of those wrong because I just didn't pay any attention. Okay. So the first, like, week or so is kind of dull and uninteresting.
Oh,
So, this is
Okay, here's our final boss. Okay, he's not actually the final boss. He's like the mid-boss of this game. Because this game takes place in, like, 2 arcs.
My name is Shuji Ikutsuki. I'm the chairman of the board for your school.
And totally not the villain.
Ikutsuki. That's why I don't
Because
like
this game is, like, real anime and takes a whole lot of anime tropes at the time.
I apologize about the confusion. However, it may take a while longer. Is there anything you'd like?
I think you're supposed to talk about all this.
To welcome you. Speaking
she's
as do
Wait,
you-
Oh, I just asked the same question. That's how little I pay attention to all of this.
You saw. You were. Do you have?
No.
Then now, if you must be from all the excitement, as they say. Please.
Yeah, this guy's a dick, and he kind of like heel turns on the entire group halfway through the game. Anyway, he just happens to be running like spy software,
So how's it doing?
monitoring every freaking room in this dormitory. Nobody seems to think it's weird that there's cameras in everyone's room and that everyone's always being watched and recording everything. I know in Persona 3 normally. Oh yeah, this guy gets murdered. He's not important to the story. He doesn't even get a name, he just dies. So, yeah. Suddenly everything turns green and the red start, blood starts flowing down the walls and, oh yeah, then he starts bleeding. Shadowy stuff. Normal stuff that happens in Japan. So anyway.
The dark hour occurred during this.
Then he.
As you can, he's the only. Although, in any case.
Yes, sir. I feel.
Okay, anyway, so, long story short, there's an hour of the day between midnight and 1 a.m. It lasts way longer than an hour when you play the game. And shadows show up. They're not the demons of Persona 2 or 5. In this game, they're actually, like, weird-looking shadow things. So, that's also interesting. Anyway, this is the Velvet Room. It's an elevator this time.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
This is Igor. He has a long nose. He's also a puppet.
My name is Igor. I am delighted to make your acquaintance. This is Elizabeth. She's a resident here, like myself.
She also gives you lots of horrible tasks that you have to complete.
This place exists between dream and reality, mind and matter.
Okay, so, here's the thing about Igor.
Only those who have signed the contract can.
Oh, maybe it was the same contract. I don't know why Death was giving it to us, but oh well.
You are destined to hone your unique ability, and I hope that you abide
Sure, why not? Anyway.
till we.
Anyway, so the thing about Igor is in the first two games, he appears, but the guy who runs the Velvet Room is named Philemon. Or Philemon. Anyway, he's like a god or something, and he gets into a pissing contest in Persona 2 with Nyarlathotep, and once he gets into a pissing contest with Nyarlathotep, he kind of disappears from the series after this point. Alright, anyway. Oh, this guy. Yeah, Eldritch God Nyarlathotep is the main boss in Persona 2. That one also contains time travel. Anyway, this guy teaches classic lit. You should always stay awake. You get academics. Yay.
Whenever there's a karaoke, then there's, but of course.
Okay, yeah. He doesn't really show you anything in this version, which is fine.
Welcome back.
Oh yeah, the moon's full tonight, which means horrible, horrible things are going to happen. Alright. Okay, so this is when the game actually starts. I know there was a whole bunch of other bullshit before this, and we're like 25 minutes in, but this is when the game actually starts doing things.
How is he?
The same as.
Even those who have memory, but the subject.
But we're treating him like a guinea.
I understand your.
Yeah, so basically, I don't know how they found you or why.
Command room. Is that you?
You're not gonna believe this. Unfortunately, I don't have time to. I wanted to let you guys.
Does that mean he's Mr. Chairman?
Okay,
let's
so-
suspend our
Right.
So basically, Akihiko gets into a fight with a giant shadow, and then, being the idiot that he is, immediately brings it home with him. Because he's Akihiko, and all of his brain matter is kind of focused around punching things.
I'm all right. Get ready to be surprised.
This is no time.
It's one of them, Aki?
Yes.
What the?
Mr. Chairman, talking about. Go upstairs. But what about? We'll stop it. You let it too.
Like I had it. What are you waiting for?
I'm go.
So, spoiler alert, they don't stop it. I mean, he might be Liam O'Brien. I have no idea. I'm not very good at paying attention to,
Take this. Okay.
I'm not very good at paying attention to who's who in, voice acting.
Yeah.
Be careful. The one we're fighting.
What?
Okay. So this part's actually much better than the PS2 game, because the PS2 game makes you run around. And that's really annoying. In this one, you can just skip through all this. Basically, you run to the roof, because the roof is the single worst place to go if you're trying to escape something.
The door's locked.
Anyway. Anyway. Then this thing shows up. It has a mask. It can see things. Also has lots of swords. Don't get used to it.
Climbed up the.
There.
That gigantic.
Let's go, me.
Wait.
Anyway, so our villain basically goes, yeah, don't save them. I just want to see what happens.
Oh yeah, I can summon.
Okay, so.
Here goes.
So, in a smart idea, Yukari puts a gun to her forehead and goes, yeah, I'm totally gonna shoot myself. Your character, being a complete psychopath, picks up the gun and just goes, you know what? Shooting myself in the head sounds like a good idea. Keep in mind, he has no idea that this gun isn't loaded. Like, this gun isn't a normal gun. As far as our main character knows, it has a bullet in it. Anyway, so Orpheus shows up. And this scene's actually way better in the animated version. Because then Orpheus is torn apart and turns into Thanatos, god of death. And Thanatos then beats the ever-loving hell out of the magician's shadow. And then, like, eats it and shit. Because Thanatos don't take no shit.
What on earth was that?
Anyway. So Thanatos runs wild on some jabronis, and then turns back into Orpheus, and nobody asks any questions. Seriously. One of the weirdest things about this game is everybody watches your persona turn into the god of death and murder, like, a giant shadow with ease. And then it just turns back into, Orpheus, and nobody ever asks any questions about it at all for the rest of the game. Like, nobody goes, hey, that was weird. Yeah, no one asks any questions at all. Which always confused the crap out of me. I feel like you would have gone, hey, that was weird, maybe we should look into that. No. Anyway. So you level up. Which is nice. And I hope you're interested. I hope that tided you over for the next 20 minutes. Because now we have 20 more minutes of cutscenes to get through. I'm not joking.
Are you? Please answer me.
And then we pass out for 2 weeks. Not kidding. So we end up back in the Velvet Room.
I see that it was Orpheus that heeded your call. That power.
Yes. Orpheus.
A persona you can think. When you the please. Now the time.
No mention of, you know, Thanatos showing up. Despite the fact that Thanatos is a badass. So like 2 weeks go by, we're in a coma because we shot ourselves in the head, and we wake up in the hospital.
You're awake?
Yeah, why are you here?
The doctor couldn't find anything wrong with you. I'm sorry, but your power...
What did I do?
Used. We call it persona. And those creatures you defeated, we'll explain I wanted to tell you that. I'm so...
Spoiler alert, they will not tell you anything.
My dad died in an accident when my mom and I aren't you're all alone. To be honest, I already know about your past. But
That's cool. I don't know about my past.
I wanted you to know that it was back in '99. There was a big explosion in the area. Supposedly, my dad died in the blast.
Yeah, he did die in the blast, and then they built a school over his remains.
He was working in a lab run by the Kirijo group. So
that name is going to come up again.
If I stick around long enough, I'll find out something. That's why I'm going to Gekukan High. Of course, I panicked, and I'm sorry. You wouldn't...
It's not your fault, Jesus.
Here I am telling you all this while I was waiting.
Yeah.
I've been hiding so many things, so thanks for listening. All right, I'll let the others know.
Don't worry, none of what she just said matters at all until like halfway through the game again. And then it remembers that she has a tragic backstory and then like shoves it in your face for a while. It's the best way I can put it. Okay, anyway. So. Anyway. This is Mr. Ono. His whole thing is he's Japanese. You can tell he's Japanese because he's wearing the helmet. Okay, so I believe they're actually called mud huts. Anyway, his whole thing is that he shit talks every period that's not the Sengoku era. Okay, yeah, so we gotta go to the 4th floor. Oh yeah, we gotta actually, like, maneuver around. Yes, I know. Okay, so. You show up in the 4th floor, and they're like, hey, we all can use personas too, except for this guy. Because that's not suspicious.
Oh, I believe I met.
How you doing?
So,
However...
So anyway, you join the secret society, and in order to join the secret society, they hand you a bright red armband and a gun.
It'll have normal, but that's not.
If that sounds suspicious, it's because it is. Yeah, skip out those.
Long story, we're the Specialized Extracurricular Execution Squad. C's for short.
It's a terrible name.
On paper, we're classified as a school club.
I really want to know what the school club would be thinking. I really want to know what, like, the school was thinking. Being like, yeah, it's a school club with the word eradication in it.
Mitsuru is the leader. I'm the club advisor.
A shadow feeds on the mind of its prey. They're responsible for...
Okay.
Although rare, that's persona. The shadows, which mean...
I see. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, they hand you a gun and an armband, and they're like, okay, welcome to our secret society.
We've prepared an evoker.
Welcome.
Yeah, if I said no, you'd find me dead in a ditch somewhere.
Oh, why don't you just... I don't know what the...
Hold up. Oh.
Yeah, this game has weird undertones. Like, really weird undertones. I don't know why. This game has all kinds of weird things about it that in hindsight I'm like, that's odd. Why did you decide to do this way? Anyway, so you get a social link, as expected. We're 30 minutes into this game, and that's with me skipping through most of the text. I was not joking when I said that we need like another 20 minutes before we get to do anything useful. Oh yeah, there's a number of scenes in this game that make no sense and come out of nowhere. Oh, here's death again. And you are?
Soon, I remembered, so I thought I should tell you.
Yes, the end will come.
The end of everything.
That's
But
cool.
To be honest, I don't really know what it is.
Because you're like 10.
Oh, looks and an unusual power. A power that takes it may
Oh my
prove to
god.
be Do you
Death
remember
talks a
when we
lot.
First met? I expect you to honor. I'll be watching you. Okay then.
He will make sure you can't forget about him because he never shuts up. Quick? I don't understand. Oh god. He's just symbol gun to shoot him symbolically. Yeah, this is different from the earlier games and the later games. They don't use guns in Persona 4. In Personas 1 and 2, they use guns. In Persona 5, they use guns. In Persona 5, it's weird because everyone just kind of handles firearms. Somehow. Like, none of these people have ever used guns. It's not like America where there's more guns than people.
Come to the lounge when you get back to the
Yeah, God. In Japan, you know, I don't expect everyone to know how to use firearms.
She's... Well, it's not...
Okay. Okay. Back here again.
Welcome back.
Because we can't just do everything at once.
Huh?
Hey, hold your...
Okay, so Junpei is going to join us. He also gets a gun and an armband.
Junpei?
Because when I think of stable individuals, I want to be heavily armed.
I bumped into him.
I think of Junpei Iori.
I told him about.
You have the...
He found me crying like a baby at the I don't remember much. He said that's like being confused.
Yep.
Oh, you should.
So yeah, we find Junpei and we're like, yeah, he seems like a guy who should be a part of a secret organization.
I'm glad I'm not the only one. I'll bet you're stoked too.
I'll be completely honest.
I think we're
Junpei is way more reliable than any of the side characters in later games. Ryuji won't shut up, and Yusuke is always complaining, so I'll take Junpei.
For a long time, but that therefore, starting tonight.
Okay, so now we're going to explore Tartarus,
Sounds like toothpaste.
which is admittedly a funny joke.
You haven't seen it?
It's no, since it only.
The
just like the. And it's
Oh god.
You can think of it.
Whoa.
their nest.
Let's get the fandom to kill you? No, I will absolutely insult Ryuji.
What about your injury?
Sensaki.
Yeah.
Ryuji will never shut up. That's my one thing about Persona 5. He's like, why is this guy... 1, why are you having your secret meetings in public? 2, why are you letting this man just yell about who you are? And they actually reference it in the game. So... I don't feel bad in calling that he's a terrible, like, member of a secret society. If he was a part of C's in this game, he would be walking around in public wielding a gun. He has no sense. He's a good guy and a good character, but he's got the sense of, like, a nematode.
Just wait a few. It's
Okay, so this is our introduction to Tartarus. And we're going to spend the majority of the game here. We're not in cutscenes, basically. Okay. So. Tartarus shows up, violates all natural understanding of physics and conservation of matter. Basically turns into a tower. You will have finished climbing this tower halfway through the game. Basically.
This is Tartarus, the labyrinth that reveals itself during the dark hour.
You know what's really odd? They never tell you why they named it Tartarus. Like, I'm not sure why they named it after the underworld. I guess because everything in this game is around Greek mythology?
What happened to our school?
Once the dark hour passes, everything returns to normal.
This is grinding as hell. I actually like the grinding, believe it or not.
But why? You don't know either?
No.
I'm sure it's...
well.
I'm sure it's complicated, and that's all the explanation you get.
Exciting.
Okay, come on.
I know.
So yeah, anyway, everything in this game is around Greek mythology, essentially. That's the thing.
Sure is creepy.
This is only the end.
First we'll have
So like our final boss is Nyx, Greek goddess of night.
we're also going to
For real?
I'm pretty sure Yukari's persona is Io. Junpei's is Hermes. I don't remember what Mitsuru's is off the top of my head.
But he has
The dog's is Cerberus, because of course. Junpei's is Hermes. Akihiko's is Caesar, as opposed to Alexander.
You two. Can you summon your
Yeah.
I think
These are
I'm aware.
Oh my god. Cool. Let's get it on with already. Anyway, then you see a blue door and you immediately start staring off into space. Yeah, I know Caesar is Roman. That's why I find it odd, because everyone else is Greek. Everyone else has Greek mythology references, and then Akihiko's persona is Caesar.
How did regrettably that is why.
That's cool.
It's like you and there your my but please
Anyway, so this game makes you seem like less of a psychopath. Because this game basically says you're zero.
Hey,
You're nothing, essentially.
Don't tell you're like, come on.
Anyway, so you're basically like the number 0. You are essentially infinite. That's how they describe it in this game. It sounds kind of awful when you have a game where your main characters shoot themselves in the head to summon personas to call yourself nothing. So in later games they changed that to say you're like a wild card, but that makes you seem like a psychopath. Because it makes you seem like your persona is whatever you want it to be, and you're just manipulating everybody.
Wait,
I'd like to. That's why.
Okay, anyway,
right.
got it.
in good tradition, because we're in the start of this game, Mitsuru never shuts up. Alright. Yes, I know there's shadows. Jesus. Okay.
Would you like?
No, please do not tell me all kinds of things. Also, this game kind of like,
Here's a chance. Let's get him.
kind of, how do I put this? Makes it hard to grind, because you see those smiley faces on the right there? Yeah, that's your energy, basically. And your party members will get tired. And the only way to increase your energy is to grind more. On different times. Oh, God. This will get incredibly bad later when you have like 8 party members.
The enemies.
And you have to grind all of them. So, spending a whole lot of time and increasing your energy is super important. I need something to drink. My voice is like giving out after an hour. So give me 1 second. I'll be right back. I just need 10 seconds to get a drink. And back. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Can you guys... I didn't ask before, but, is the audio okay? Is the audio, like, balanced correctly? It looks like it's balanced on my end, but I want to make sure that it actually is. I'm not just, like, insane. I'm very bad at, judging whether or not the audio is ever balanced correctly. You can hear the poros perfectly. Perfect. Oh god. Okay, so... Oh, it's not gonna work. Oh well.
If you
God
do
damn
know, would
it.
you like more?
No.
Then
This game likes its tutorials. So many goddamn tutorials.
you attacked the enemy's weak point.
Yes, well, ask all the questions you like.
Yes, the enemy.
There's a bunch of portals stacked on top of each other. No, I'm not.
You struck the enemy's weak point.
Oh, God. So. Alright, so everything's mostly okay. Now we get into the shuffling part. So, in this game, the only way to get new personas is to shuffle for them. The cups refill your health. The green ones, which I think are staves, refill your, or give you more experience. So usually you can only get one. And it's basically, this changes. The way they shuffle changes as the game goes through. Okay. Okay. Alright. Oh yeah, I forgot I can use... So it's asking you about this, even though we've taken no damage.
There is a better way to defeat all of your. You can perform in all.
Yes, yes, we've done that 3 times now.
Then, Shadow, there may be this back.
This game likes its tutorials.
You attacked the enemy's weak
Likes its tutorials more than anything else, I think.
You exploited the enemy's weak point.
I will say that
A wisely chosen attack.
you don't have to talk. You know what? I haven't changed them to be on
Attack again.
oh god. I haven't changed them to auto attack or to attack based on my commands. I need to remember to do that. I should probably do that now, honestly. Alright, so we got Pixie last time, so we're gonna get Apsaris. Anyway, personas work basically the way they do in the next 2 games, where you get to fuse them together and stuff like that. Alright. Okay, where were we? Okay. So this game now wants you to make everybody split up. You will never do this except on floors when you're all, like, way over leveled.
Sweet.
Okay, so you will never use that command except after you've, like, power leveled and everybody's super high level.
I see.
Because then everybody can just run around the floor and pick up all the items, and you can just
Don't worry though. But I'm at this
really quickly get through all the floors. And the game expected you to do that in the earlier versions. This one less so. But I'll probably still be doing that. That's really where you spend a bulk of the early part of the game. So anyway, they expect you to leave, despite the fact that I would much rather keep grinding for now. I'll have plenty of opportunity. Oh god. Okay, so this is Keiji. His main character trait is that he's awful. Like, he's the worst. Or Kenji. Kenji's awful. He's the worst.
Next, please welcome the new president, Mitsuru Kiriji.
Thank you.
Okay.
So, well, I guess she is the most popular girl in school.
You can say that. Besides, this school's owned by the.
Yeah, the school's owned by the
So I'll
Kiriju
begin
group,
my
yeah.
term as student council president. It is my firm belief that each of us must, however, Change cannot occur without sustained effort and an unprecedented level. That is why we must restructure our daily lives to... I'd like each of you to dig deeply into your well of motivation and reevaluate to imagine a bold new future without losing sight of the realities around. That is the key. I'm certain that many of you, for us to reap the full benefits of our education, your
So she gives like a communist manifesto up here.
Dang. So,
Not a clue. Anyway. Oh, God. There we go, much better. Yeah, now I can read your text a little bit better. Alright, now stay awake. Anyway, so Kenji's awful. I mentioned this because the game will shove him down your throat for a little bit. But he's our introduction to social links, pretty much. I forget what there's something else I was supposed to do. Oh yeah, we're all supposed to use the bathroom all the time. So, one of the weirdest things about this game is, so you have condition, right? Where you can be sick, you can be tired, you can be good, and you can be great. And using the bathroom has an opportunity to make your condition great, which means if you grind and get tired, you're less likely to end up... There's one place I was supposed to go. I think... Yes, okay. Oh god. Okay, so anyway, yeah, if you use the bathroom, you have a better chance of becoming in great condition, which means you're less likely to end up getting sick if you grind and get tired, which you're going to. So you have to make sure you remember to use the bathroom every single day. Okay. Okay, so anyway, then the game goes, okay, you need weapons and stuff. Yeah, because they took out the condition. They took out the condition problem in 4 and 5, so you no longer have condition to worry about. You can just grind without worrying about getting tired, because it's a stupid mechanic. So anyway, it turns out that the police station is also owned by the Kirijo group, and the police officer will sell you weapons.
This is Officer Kurosan, and this is...
really?
You can't, Officer, but these things still cost money. Of course they... I realize that. Well, no.
So yeah, you have to buy weapons from the police.
My job is to maintain peace in this city. I'm just an ordinary police officer. I'm only doing what...
I'm just an ordinary police officer. And I'm doing what I think is right. So, here you go, high schoolers. Buy weapons from me. And to be fair, he's a good dude. The cops in this game are way better than the cops in Persona 5, where the cops in Persona 5 are just, like, legit, like, straight up corrupt and horrible. The cops in this game are like, yeah, we can't do anything about whatever's going on, so, you look like somebody who can buy weapons. Anyway, we don't have a lot of money right now. Wait, what? Right, armor. The thing is, I don't know what I'm supposed to buy because most of the stuff we're gonna get in the dungeon are gonna be better than anything he can sell us. I got that good Shido bribe money. Yeah. Yeah. God, most of the stuff is not gonna be very good. Very much longer. I guess we'll increase our SP by 10%. I don't really want to spend a whole lot of money because we're going to be getting better stuff. Alright, let's get rid of that. I won't ask what they'll be used for, but I believe you'll use them for the right reasons. For some reason, the police are armed with, like, swords and stuff in this game, and I don't know why. Anyway, the back alley is where the Velvet Room is. We're not going to go over there yet, because we don't really need to. I don't know if we can do anything Okay, health can be improved here. Okay, so this is something new they added here. The working part-time part is new. Because there was no way in this game to make money, and everything you would go into as like a customer would cost you money to do. So we're going to work part-time because we can't do anything else tonight. So your academics increases, and your charm increases, and you got 3,500 yen. So there's never a reason not to do stuff like that.
Welcome back.
Okay. Wait, can we go? Okay, we can go out tonight now. Can we go to Tartarus now? Because if so, I just want to get Tartarus done. Okay, we're in great condition. Can we go to Tartarus now? Oh, I didn't realize we could go to Tartarus now. I'm pretty sure in the original, although I might be wrong, you couldn't go to Tartarus for another couple days. Awesome, we're going to get through this. Okay, so one thing the game doesn't tell you, like really early on doesn't tell you, yes, I know. So like one thing the game doesn't tell you very early on is that you're going to get tired very quickly in the beginning. And so it's not going to let you grind for very long. And so the best way to fix that problem is that early on you're going to want to grind often. Oh yeah, alright, tactics. All members, direct commands. 'Cause I don't want to remember to do that. So, this is not going to be a very long grinding session, probably. I don't even remember what most of you guys have is... God damn it, Junpei.
3 enemies remain.
You like about, yeah, you can grind as long as you feel like? Yeah, I do too. So basically this is just like Mementos, if Mementos was finite and also had a time limit. Also, it's super hard. Okay. Yeah, they don't tell you this, but Tartarus is like, the terms of like, it expects you to grind. Okay, like this game expects you to grind. It expects you to grind a lot. So the increase in difficulty happens very quickly in this game, from section to section. Like that's the best way I can put it.
Another enemy defeated. Good job.
Alright. Okay, so here's another reason why it's very hard to need money in this game, is because those red ones will give you weapons. Weapons, armor, stuff like that. There's less importance on S-links and social stats. The social stats you need for other things in this game. So, if you want to do romance, you need to max out your social stats. There's only 3 of them. There's charm, there's body, I think, and then there's... I don't remember. There's 3 of them. We'll see them in a second when I do this. Right, yeah, okay, so, no, that's the wrong thing. Oh yeah, we also get skill cards from stuff, which is something else. Once we get through this, I'll look at them again. Yeah, the Shovel in P3 does give you stuff. All of them are good. Let's put it that way. Except for the skulls, which are terrible. Alright. There's only 3 stats. I can remember where they're located. Oh yeah, it's academics, courage, and charm. You need to max them out. You need to max all of them out if you want to get romances with each of the women. So you need max charm if you're going to go for Yukari, you need max academics if you're going to go for Mitsuru, and you need max courage if you're going to go for Fuko. And if you're not interested in romance or either of those three, then it really doesn't matter, as far as I remember. Although I'll probably be upgrading them anyway, because it just makes sense to do so. I don't remember. Probably just rush them and kill them, honestly. God damn it, Junpei. Damn it, Yukari. But yeah, the shuffle time in this game is like really generous. Oh yeah, also the golden ones, 'cause that's the first time we've seen them, they give money. And they give increasingly large sums of money as time goes on. Alright, really quickly. Heal everybody. So I would honestly say that gameplay-wise, this is my favorite Persona of the first four. Like, gameplay-wise, I like this one the most. I think Persona 5 has slightly better gameplay. I not even remember what their weakness is. I don't remember. Oh, also, they changed... Also, because they changed, like, how physical works. So there's 3 different kinds of physical skills rather than 2. Since there's only 2 in Persona 5.
It seems to have multiple weaknesses.
Oh, it's weak to everything but fire. Okay.
Don't get killed. Just one more.
Oh. God damn it, I need your experience. Don't run away from me, I need that experience. Okay, come on. Alright, I want to see if this still works. Okay, it still does. Alright, so the funniest thing in this game is this, right here. So, because of the way they did the game, the shadows can only move a certain distance from where they spawn. And once you get further away, they get stuck at this wall, and you can just attack them. You don't get a first strike, but they also can't... That means you're almost never going to get attacked. They fixed this in Persona 4, where the guys can just chase you all the way across the level. But yeah, in this one, they just can't reach you. Ever. That's the funniest fucking thing, honestly. It's a really, really good way of, God damn it, Ricari, why are you always getting hit? I need to remember to, like, actually use the analog stick. Or I could just get hit right there, because I totally didn't see the enemy there. We are? There's 3 of us and 3 of them. How are we at a disadvantage? Also, this game is like super brutal when it comes to SP. Like super brutal. God damn it. You will run out of SP constantly in this game. Okay, level 5. I think we need to be at least level 6.
Two enemies detected. Strike first. Last one. Take the enemy down.
Okay. Let's kill things. I really want everybody to level up at least like 1 more. Yeah, they gave so much SP to your characters in Persona 4 because they didn't change how much SP things cost from 3 to 4. So, everything in Persona 3 and 3 and 4, I think, costs the same amount of SP, but you get way less of it in Persona 3. Anyway, if you're wondering why I'm getting the growth one now, it's because we're going to run out of, once we start leveling up, they're not going to be all that useful here. Actually, I shouldn't be using my SP to heal. Oh well. Alright, equipment. This is what I meant when I said we're going to get equipment. Oh, they recycled so much from Persona 3 into Persona 4. All of the enemies are recycled, for the most part. Like, all the shadows and stuff are literally taken from Persona 3. Mostly because they had them all already done.
2 enemies detected. Strike.
Yeah, the battles are all set up the same. And part of that is because people really liked Persona 3, but Persona 3's biggest flaw is that it's basically a dungeon crawler. And the social links don't really do much of anything. So, you know, there was a lot of, okay, how do we change this and make this better? Because the main dungeon you're going to spend all your time in is this one, and it's basically the same for the first half of the game, and there's not a whole lot of variation in it. And so basically they were like, alright, how do we... They were like, alright, how do we change that? And they said, okay, well, let's make each of the dungeons unique, and we'll just make them shorter. And that sort of worked, because the dungeons at least are memorable in Persona 4. In 3, Tartarus basically is the same for the first half of the game. So yeah, that's a little bit of a downer, I would say. Okay, thank God. Please tell me you just finally learned Garu. More attached to each character? Yeah, exactly. There's more of a personal thing with each of the characters in Persona 4. Because Persona 4 is very character-driven. Like, the story and everything that happens is very character-driven. In Persona 3, nothing is character-driven for the most part. Everything is story-driven. In the sense that the story's happening and the characters are reacting to the story. In Persona 4, it's the characters driving the story. And yeah, there's a story that's happening, but it's personalized to each of the characters. In 3, everything is basically the same regardless of what you do. And so the characters are constantly having to react to things that are outside of their control. P5 is kind of both. Yeah, it is. P5 sort of hits that balance where all of the dungeons are personalized to someone. It's just not the main characters, but it just so happens that all of the main characters have a stake in it. So I would probably say that Persona 5 is probably the best of the 3. It's certainly the most popular one. I would say that it probably nails best. Like, it gives everybody something. And part of that's just because we've moved beyond... part of it's just we've moved beyond the limitations of the PS2. No, we don't need to do that. So, like, Persona 3 came out midway through the PS2 era, I think. And Persona 4 came out, like, 2 months before the PS3 did. Like, Persona 4 came out, like, just before the PS3 did, and so a whole lot of people didn't get a chance to play it. But also, Persona 4 has, at least in my opinion, the characters aren't very good. Or not as good as Persona 5. And that just personally, because there's some really good characters, but honestly, the characters in Persona 4 irk me a bit. Alright, what was I? Oh yeah, equipment. This is what I meant about not needing to buy things. Wait, whose weapon did I just get then? Oh. Like, there's no reason to buy weapons from the shop, because you're just gonna get better weapons when you go in here. We just demand more, and we should, but that's also because we have the ability to get more out of our games. Like, obviously... So, like, the thing about this game is that it was built around the limitations they thought they had on the PS2. And so, like, they couldn't do... So, like, Persona 1 and 2 are very demon-heavy. So, like, all of the enemies are demons that you recruit. And so, obviously, they couldn't do, like, all the models. Like, they did do 3D models, but they decided that there wasn't really a way to do that the way they wanted. And also... Damn it. Oh, well. Come on. And also, like, the negotiation system in the earlier games is kind of awful. Playing through Persona 1, like, the negotiation system is just agonizing. Because it's all random, essentially. Okay, now that's... I keep hitting start and when I shouldn't. It's triangle in this one. Wait, huh? Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. Now, Persona 5 was undoubtedly a hit. Persona 5 was like a cultural phenomenon. Persona 5 came out and everyone was like, this is awesome! Alright, okay, so... There's 3 shadows on this floor and they suck. And I don't want to use them just yet. I think if we go back to the... No. Okay, so... Your SP totally doesn't come back if, No. It doesn't heal you or bring your SP back if you come back. So... Yeah, this game can be grueling. Like, the dungeon part of this can be absolutely grueling. Okay, so... Let's go back to... We can probably beat this. I mean, a lot of people had never played any Persona game before Persona 5. Persona 5 came out in a very specific time with a very unique look. And it was very easy to get into. If I remember, these guys are weak to... So you're never going to be able to find their weakness. Oops. Fuck. I didn't save before this, so let's hope we don't die. I could have sworn these guys were weak to Garu. Nope, they're not. Okay. Okay, that was funny. Okay, switch out real quick. Also, did I mention you can't learn their weaknesses by, like, analyzing them? You have to either know automatically or guess, basically. Okay, apparently they heal with fire. That's great. Keep in mind, this is the first mini-boss of the game. When I said this game will kick your ass, I'm not kidding. This game is an absolute old school dungeon crawler, and expects you to know your shit going in.
This is not good.
Oh yeah, also they'll just keep attacking the same fucking person. So like I'll
attempt to analyze.
Alright, so they eat ice, so that's not good.
The enemy is down. Keep attacking.
Also, if I definitely shouldn't attack. I need to, like, heal, so... Oh yeah, you can't use items for one more. I forgot about that.
Iori, pull yourself together.
Yeah, before you die horribly on me. Yeah, see, this is what happens if you scan them. It just gives you question marks. It's just like, you'll figure it out. Hope you learn.
Are you all right?
Hope you figure out what you're supposed to do. Thanks, game. This game really likes to, like, kick you in the balls repeatedly. Okay, we're gonna... So this is what I meant when the game wants you to grind, because otherwise you're gonna get your ass kicked. Repeatedly. Constantly. All the time. Yes, good. Keep attacking her. She takes, like, no damage. Okay. Here's our weakness life story of RPN. Use 5P3. You're gonna learn today. Yeah, basically. That's basically, the backstory of, That's basically the backstory. Now, I'm actually controlling all my party members. Imagine what this would be like if I could not control my party members. Because in the PS2 versions, you can't control your party members. They act on their own. Yeah, that sounds horrifying to you. That's the way the game is made.
Iori is in danger.
Oh god. No, I'm not alright. I'm like under-leveled, apparently. Why would they do that? Because that was the limitations of the game. That was the way they did it.
Careful, Iori is severely...
Who does that help? Nobody. It was supposed to make the game harder. Like, the idea was that the game would be harder, and it was. Keep in mind, I'm fighting the first mini-boss. This is not even a main boss. This is supposed to be an easy mini-boss, and I'm just, like, under-leveled. Oh, right, I forgot. They get healed off fire. I totally forgot about that. God damn it, stop at that. Yeah, this game's rough. This game can be kind of rough. And this is normal difficulty. Keep in mind, this is normal. This isn't even the harder difficulties. Fucking Maniac difficulty is insanity. Also cannot escape from this battle, so I'm just kind of like healing and hoping I can keep my heal up. See, I'm baby. I play on... Oh, well, then you'll have no problem. Also, they have a lot of health. Probably shouldn't have been doing this time around. This was probably a mistake. Yeah, this is a little rough. This is rough. Because there's 3 of them and we don't do a lot of damage right now. So I'm probably gonna die here, I think. Junpei does damage. Yes, keep attacking Yukari. Please, for the love of God, attack Yukari. Go. Okay. Let's see if we can get ahead on things. I won't have this problem on later bosses because I'll grind more on them. God damn it, it's not attacking Junpei. Why would they give you a character who's weak to the first boss? That's okay, they give you a guy who's weak to the next bosses, like your next party member is weak to all the next bosses too. Actually, if I remember correctly, Yukari's weapon's actually, like, strong against them? Yeah. I totally forgot that. Her basic weapon does piercing damage, and so is super effective against them. I'm a moron. I totally forgot about that. But you wouldn't know because you're spending all of your time healing with her. Also because she has, like, 0 chance to hit 90% of the time. Okay. This was way too rough, mostly because I totally forgot that piercing damage is what they're weak to.
Be careful, Iori is severely injured.
I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot, turns out. I don't want to do this. I'm like... This was a mistake. Let's heal me. If Junpei dies, it's not a huge deal, because it changes... I mean, it is a huge deal. I mean, it is a problem, but it's less of a problem than if Yukari died. Yukari dying would be awful, because we sort of need her. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, good job. Alright, you know what, fuck it. We're gonna heal Junpei so he doesn't die on us. Okay, he got up. I don't know how long he's gonna be up. Keep in mind, Junpei does more than the all-out attacks do. So I might just, like, not do the all-out attack and just let Yukari wail on them. Because their, like, regular attack does more damage than the almighty damage. No. Okay. Now that I'm not, like, horribly wrong and fucking up anymore. Okay.
Take the enemy down. The enemy has recovered.
Stop hitting Iori. There. Jesus Christ. Yeah, all out is Jesus Christ. Alright, yeah, all out attack is not always the best option. Okay. That gave us a whopping 40 XP, and nobody leveled off of that. And now we get to fight even harder enemies. Your reward for beating that mini boss is that now you get to fight even more enemies. They're even harder. So this game does not, like, hold your hand. This game happily, like, kicks your ass. Wait, where's Junpei? The fuck did Junpei go? He just didn't show up in combat. Please tell me he's not, like, stuck on a wall or something. I'm real mad if he's stuck on a wall somewhere. Why are you all the way back there? What were you doing? Oh yeah, so if they're far enough away, they just don't show up in combat. I don't know why. It's part of the way that your party members can go fight shadows on their own. So that's supposed to make it easier to fast clear. So yeah, you can just send your guys out later, and they can just fast clear stuff on their own. No. Yeah, that's the reaction I had. That was the reaction I had when I'm like, oh yeah, sometimes they just don't show up in combat. Which can be kind of awful. Oh yeah, we're out of SP. That's a problem. So yeah, that can be kind of bad if you show up in a combat and you need that character to do things. Like if you need their abilities and they're not in combat with you, yeah, that can be kind of rough. Anyway. I don't even remember what this guy's weak to. I thought it was wind. I'm pretty sure I'm wrong. Piercing? No. I might be right. It might be pierce. It might be,
The enemy's weakness is ice.
Nope, I was wrong again. It's weak. Weak to ice. Oh well. Wait, why am I using Pixie? Not that I'm going to actually use SP moves because I barely have any and I'm our healer. So oh good, Junpei leveled up. Okay. Yay, defense items. Okay. So there's a lot of things about Persona 3 that have not dated, have not aged well. Let's put it that way. Oh good, more experience. Avoid physical moves because of the HP cost? Yeah, I can see that. Except for the fact that, how do I put this? So in this game, I said that there are already 3 kinds of physical moves, not 2. So there's bashing, there's slashing, and there's piercing. The thing about it is that physical moves in this game are super powerful against the right enemies. So like if you level up the right personas, super good. Pretty sure this is no, it's not. Oh, I just got a copy of what the other thing I already had. The flip phones in P4. Yeah, the flip phones in P4 are kind of dated. But then again, this one takes place in 1999, I think? I'm really surprised we have not gotten tired yet. I would have thought by now we would have. I would have sworn we would have gotten tired by now. Although I'm probably cursing myself, because we're probably going to get tired pretty soon, and I have to go back to the main storyline. Take place a decade after each other? Yeah, basically. Oh yeah, now the enemies are so weak that they're running away from us, even though none of us have leveled up recently. God damn it, Junpei, stop missing. Anyway, when they're like worried, when enemies are worried like that, it means you can crit them faster, so you can just grind through them really quickly. Yay, more items to sell. Honestly, most of the enemies are way easier than the bosses, and I'm not fighting the next mini-boss this time. Stop running away. Yeah, so when they're like weak like this, you can just run up and crit them and like kill them. super nice. Because they still give you rewards. Well, it's not like there's a problem in doing that. fact, later on, even if you're tired, you can still run through the dungeons and just avoid enemies when you're high enough level, because they'll run away from you. So you can just grind items. Thank you, base Rush God. Yeah. Rush is super nice. God damn it, stop attacking him. Oh. Alright. Yay, experience card. I almost always get the experience card, even if it like doesn't give me that much experience. When do I level up again? I leveled up recently. The next level up. 28 experience, alright. It's probably because I'm just fighting really weak enemies at the moment. Yeah, Rush is super powerful in this game because physical attacks are super powerful in this game. So, they nerfed physical attacks in Persona 4, if I remember correctly. And I think they did the same thing in Persona 5. But in Persona 3, physical attacks are super damaging. So using Rush is super nice. So you can just like run through things as long as they're not resistant to your physical attacks. Okay, that's where that is. Crit everything! Yeah, basically that worry thing means you just start critting everything, and it's kind of nice. In New Game Plus? Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, Rush is super nice. And this game's super effective a lot of the time. Yay, we leveled up again, thank God. Somehow we're not... Somehow... 4,000 yen is right there. Somehow we're not tired yet? I don't know how. Maybe they buffed it in this version. That's entirely possible. But even so, we're like slightly over-leveled, I think. I want to say we're slightly over-leveled. Alright. Cool, got the skill card. That means we can add stuff to things. So, I don't know if they had those in P4 and P5. But in this game, skill cards let you, Skill cards let you, attach skills to other personas. So if you want, you can get a persona with all 4 elements. Or all 6 elements? How many elements are there in this game? There's standard 4, and then there's dark and light. Although dark and light are both instant kill, so most of the time they're not worth it. Get the cards? Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know that in P5. Although I could technically play P5 because I have a PS3. I just never thought about doing it because I figure it's on the PS4. And apparently PS4s are only like Yusuke dupes them for you? Oh. That's nice of him. God damn it, Junpei, stop missing. Oh, that reminds me of something. So in... I don't know if it's Persona... I don't know if they changed this in 4 or 5, but... Okay, so... Oh damn it, where are their stats? Not that. Not that either. Okay, Persona status. Okay, so... In this game, your turn order isn't based around sides. So I know in Persona 5, I'm not sure about Persona 4. In Persona 5, it's based around, like, all your members go, and then they go. In this one, it's based around your agility stat to determine how fast you go and how often. So that can be kind of annoying, because you have to, like, remain vigilant for that. But other than that, you're pretty much... Okay, we're definitely not fighting the mid-boss here. Not gonna happen, because everybody's basically, everybody's out of, like, everything. So I should probably stop, but we're not tired yet, so we can just come back here. Also, I forgot to check one thing. We haven't saved. Oh, we can heal the party here. Seriously? Oh, it costs you money to heal here. Oh. I did not know that was a thing in this game. Okay. Never mind then. I didn't realize you could just come down here and heal. Alright. That's new. That's not in the FES version. Yes, that's not in the PS2 version at all. I'm supposed to go in here really quickly. I know you need to change personas. Okay, yes, we don't have her requests yet. So Elizabeth in this game will give you requests and be like, hey, I need you to do X, Y, Z. Yeah, the PS2 version's is rough, alright. Oh, you're able to gain more XP on this floor. That's also a thing they added. So one thing they added on this version is that the randomness of the floors is increased. So, like, there's some floors that only have golden, but only have, okay, you see this is new. You see that skull there on the green one? That means death shows up. And death shows up will kill you, basically. That's in 5. I don't think it's in 4. In 5, I think it only shows up if you spend too much time on any one area of mementos. He does that here, too. If you spend too much time on any one floor, he'll show up and start, like, wanting to kill you.
Last one.
Idle 2 minutes, summons the Reaper? Yeah, that's probably it. Now, you can actually, like, late game of this game, farm the Reaper, if you want to. But considering we're, like, level 7, that's a really stupid idea. Admittedly, you're never going to spend that much time on the floors. Realistically, the best time to, the only time you need to stop grinding, mostly, is when all the enemies are afraid of you. Fun story? He'll tell me fun stories. Who doesn't love fun stories? Except for terrible people, I guess.
Here's our chance for an all-out attack. Take you
First time I fought the Reaper in P5, I went during flu season, and he got to spare and died in 3 turns. Nice. I did nothing. He just died of influenza. That's awesome.
Strike first. Last one.
Sorry, Reaper had to come out of bed. Apparently the Reaper needs to go back to sleep. Yeah, you will rapidly start a clear... So once I learned early game that once everything is afraid of you and your party members, that you can just tell them to run around and like collect things for you, you basically have an easy farming area because you can just run around and collect money and items, basically with no problem at all. And I confess, I like grinding a lot. Grinding's one of the most fun things for me because I like increasing my stats and making other things easier. Also, shadows respawn, which is also nice. Yeah, you hate grinding. I confess. We're a little different in that regard. I prefer grinding. I actually like... I sometimes grind a little too much. I confess it's one of the reasons I have a hard time reminding myself that, hey, I could stream right now, because like, I am prone to I'm like, no one wants to watch me sit around and grind for 12 hours. That's why you sucked at Pokemon. I'll be honest, Pokemon doesn't actually... Okay, you saw that right there? That was a golden hand. Golden hands are a pain in the ass in this version. So in Persona 3, golden hands mean or have to be snuck up upon. If you don't sneak up on them, they'll just run into a wall and disappear. They're real fucking annoying. They're the worst. They're the worst. And you have to kill some of them, and they're random. So expect to be grinding a whole lot to go finding them. So it can be a major, major problem. Anyway, sometimes you'll just run through a thing, like open up, you'll just run through a doorway, and there'll be a golden hand, and you won't even realize it. You won't even notice, because you won't have noticed the shadow. It won't have come in view before it notices you, and you noticed it. So, yeah, that's a pain in the butt. Anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, Pokemon. I grind. I'll confess. So, when I first played Pokemon Blue, and I got Pokemon Blue when it came out, because I had a Game Boy Color at the time, and see, Junpei's not in this fight. This happens all the time. One of your party members just doesn't show up and doesn't get experience. Thanks, Junpei, wherever the f you are at the moment. Where the fuck you are? Eric. Sometimes your party members just get lost and just wander away. I'm back here. Anyway, so I got Pokemon Blue, and 15 minutes late with Starbucks. No, Junpei shows up 30 minutes late with nothing, and he's like, "What do you mean? We were supposed to be here, motherfucker." No, in Pokemon, I played when I played Pokemon Blue the first time, I used Charmander as my starter. And in the original Pokemon games, your first dungeon, or your first bosses, were Brock with Rock-type Pokemon, and Misty with Water-type Pokemon. And so that meant that Fire types were awful, because this was before Metal was introduced into the game. And so you didn't have Metal Claw to go through all of the Rock types. So the only things you're going to be finding that early in the game are... The only thing you're finding that early in the game are bug types, basically, and normal types. And so I had to so the way I got around it was I caught a Caterpie, and I power leveled it on other Caterpies until got to level 10, because then it evolved into Butterfree. And it had Confusion, and Confusion was basically how I got through that dungeon. I got through Brock was because I used a Butterfree with Confusion to kill it in the original game. Because if you use Bulbasaur or Squirtle, you basically just ran through that dungeon. Charmander was rough in the original game. At least at first, because midway through the game, Charmander became way better. Midway through the game, he just kicked ass. When you're fighting all of the the grass dungeons, and suddenly fire is super powerful because it's based entirely around your special stat, because they weren't attack and defense weren't different. So you could just go through everything at that point. Yeah, that was kind of nice, I'll be honest. Short Sword, Gladius. Can I equip any of this? I don't remember. Hey, another weapon for me. But yeah, Pokemon Blue was a little rough if you chose if you choose Charmander as your starter. But that's because Misty was a pain in the ass. Ooh, rare chest. Juzumaru, that's awesome. So, we've basically gotten through the first request that we're going to need. Oh yeah, I can't use it in this version. Junpei does. But yeah, Misty was a really hard boss in the original one if you picked Charmander. Because you had like nothing to fight her with. Also, Bubble Beam in that version was like an instant death if you used it. Wow, there's a lot of items on this floor. This is a special floor. Is that an item I can use? No. Okay. Ooh, another rare chest. Ooh, another Juzumaru. Perfect.
I feel a strong presence.
Oh, good.
It must be death.
Okay, so death is on this floor. It's the special floor. And I'm greedy, so I'm picking up items. Also, how does she know it's death? I don't know. Anyway. Wait, yeah. Can't pick up the chest twice. Do we even pick up the chest when we went through here? I don't even remember. Yeah, we did. Okay. The gendering of armor in P4 and 5, annoying. Okay, it also genders in this game too. Don't worry. That's still a thing. I don't know why. That's a thing that goes all the way back to the first game. Like, Persona 1 does that too. And I don't know why. It's a little weird. Ironically, the female armor is always better. I don't know why. Like, the women's armor always has better stat buffs. For some reason. I didn't know they kept for, like, gendered armor. Okay, this guy's a pain. Or not. Or I could just immediately crit him. That's where they hide the good stuff. That's where they hide all the stat buffs. Okay, if I remember correctly, he's weak to... Weak to wind. Okay, I was... No.
If you say so, help me.
Okay.
That was easy.
I'm shocked we're not tired yet. You would have thought after all this grinding we would have gotten tired. I'm pretty sure they didn't remove that. If they did, yay. But if they did, why do we still have the smiley faces?
Help me. Here's our chance for an all-out attack. If you say so.
Anyway.
This thing won't give up.
One enemy remains.
Anyway, so we're gonna be like way over leveled probably for the next fight. But that's okay because basically my way of doing grinding this game has always been to like try and grind as least often as possible. So like instead of grinding multiple times, I just try and do one long session. So that means I only have to do it once in between moon cycles. So like in Persona 4, it's based around rainy days. In this one, it's based around the moon cycle. So you basically have a month in between each cycle to grind stuff up. And I like to do that like one time so I can focus stuff on doing other things. It's usually where I like to be. Oh good, we're level 8. That's good. And we're real close to just being able to, like, send our individual party members out to go do whatever they want. I might do the second mini-boss. Yeah, I might do the second mini-boss. Oh, a Mazio gem. Okay, that's super nice. So they give you... So gems in this game are harder to get than they are in later games. Or, I should say attack gems are harder to get. Because getting, like, gems that you turn into cards to buff your personas are super easy to get if you just do a little bit of grinding. Things were just a set date rather than P4 when I wasn't sure when the rain would happen. Yeah, that's true. In this game, you know immediately how much time you have because it's done by moon cycles, and obviously the moon has to become a new moon, and then you have a full, like, 12 days before it becomes a full moon. I will say one of the weird things about Persona 5 is that there's a whole lot of downtime.
That was easy.
Like, there's always so much, like, because you can complete the dungeons a lot of times, either, like, on your first day through, or you have to wait for a specific day before you can continue. There's, like, a huge amount of middle downtime, where you're just kind of, like, spinning your wheels, waiting for the next thing to happen. I mean, that isn't necessarily a bad thing, because the social links, you know, there's a lot of them. Oh god, we're getting buried in items. To remember to sell all this crap. Yeah, just grinding them social links and hanging with the bros and doing, oh yeah, the Shirt of Chivalry. Shirt of Chivalry. +3 strength. Also changes your look so that you are in like a Japanese fishing man's attire. It's the closest thing I can... It's just filled with rash guards. Oh well. Anyway, let's get out of here. Alright, Alright, we got 2 more floors and then we're gonna be on the mini-boss again. So, true story, I've actually, when I got to the final, I actually run through the entire dungeon multiple times, just so I could get more items and more, stuff like it. I don't know, I like grinding. Okay. Whew. Okay, so, even though you have to sneak up on these guys, they always have the surprise on you. So, one of the worst things about these guys is that even if you have to sneak up on them and hit them from behind in order to even get into a fight with them, and then they immediately get their own turn, and so sometimes you'll attack them, and you'll just show up, and they'll be like, bye, and leave. Sure, why not? So that can be super annoying. Also, they have a super high chance to dodge. So I think they're weak to, like, all physical skills. Anyway, they give you wealth coins, which you can sell for money. You also need to get them for other reasons. So when you get Elizabeth's thing, you have to seek them out and go fight them again. So. But yeah, social stats, if I remember correctly, aren't as important in this game, although you're going to want to max them out anyway. Just because it makes life easier. Okay, she's level 8. That's good. Glad they are essential. Yeah, that's true, yeah. Although, I think... I don't remember how many there are in P and P4. I don't know if they stuck with the 3. It's been so long since I played P4, because it was my least... Before they suck. Yeah, so there's like no benefit to getting like social links in this game that I remember, except for like their. That's not 100% true, because the personas that you unlock are super good, but you can just, and I said this earlier, but you can get stones like rare gemstones, and then you use the gemstones to buy cards. And the cards you use on personas to improve their stats. And so you can just max out all of their stats. Like, every persona you can max out. Yeah, you don't even get that stuff here either. Like, that was... You don't get any of that here. At least I don't think so. They might have added it because they added a bunch of stuff from Persona 4 into this game on the portable version. But I don't know how much of it they added. Also, I need more drink. I'll be right back. Need more drinks. Okay. Second. Forgot to put the mic back in. Okay. So, how's my voice right now, compared to before? Like, how is it compared to how it was, like, a second ago? Is it quieter, or is it alright? The reason I ask is because I moved where I am compared to where the mic is. So... Quieter? Yeah, it's probably because I'm further away from the mic. One second. Yeah. So I'm actually laying down at the moment. Because my mic is on my bed. And so I lay down when I stream. So the mic is like literally about 3 inches from my face. Okay, this is a special floor, so... Oh wait, no, that's not what
Everyone.
Okay, so they're gonna pick up a bunch of items, and then run around the floor. Because there's nothing else on this floor, so we can just kinda... Well, actually, you should probably go look for items, because they're kinda dumb. Forgot about that. Forgot about that.
Yes, I think we can use.
So I don't remember entirely, but if I remember correctly, sometimes they will just
Feel a strong presence.
Oh.
It must be death.
Let's get off this floor then. Sometimes if they pick up items that they can use, they'll just like equip them. And even if you don't want them, you don't want them to do so. Okay, so before we fight this mini boss, I'm going back to the main thing and healing really quickly. I'm gonna go back and heal. Considering we already have 33,000 yen, I don't think money's gonna be an issue early on, unless I splurge on items again, which I usually do. All right, let's go back to floor 10. Yes, I know there's 3 shadows on the floor, Mitsu. Okay.
It must be guarded.
Okay. I don't know what their weakness is, off the top of my head. Not that. Not that either. Okay. Okay. It's probably not ice if they use ice. Welcome to the mini-boss guessing game. Okay, then. God damn it, Yukari. I should probably switch personas, honestly. I suppose we can change to Apsars and see if they're weak to ice. I don't think they are. Pretty sure they heal on ice, but guess we're gonna find out. Nope, they're just not at all. Oh good, we're shocked. That's great.
Please hit. I couldn't defeat it.
I forgot how the mini bosses in this game just kick your ass.
Couldn't finish it off.
Alright. Okay. Never mind, let's go back to Pixie. Because if you die, then it's game over, regardless of whether or not your party members are still alive. So you should always want to keep yourself in as much health as possible. Even if that means you end up turning yourself. Oh god damn it. Oh god damn it. They have so many moves. Yeah, this game is designed around grinding. Even if they made the grinding easier. Even if they made the grinding easier, it's still designed around grinding. Also, if I remember correctly... enemies don't have SP? Is that the same way in P5, where if the main character dies, the whole thing's over? Did they not change that? Oh wow, I didn't realize they didn't change that. I thought they would have. I know enemies in 4 and 5 have SP. I don't know if they do in Persona 3. Because Persona 3 enemies will just spam moves. Also, because we're panicked, we can't use skills. So I can't heal anybody because my 2 healers are stunned. God damn it. Yeah, P4 will say the enemy ran out of SP. I know that happens in other Persona games, where I'm pretty sure that happens in, or not Persona games, in like SMT games. I know that happens in Nocturne. But I'm pretty sure the enemies in this game do not have SP. Because they'll just spam moves over and over again forever. Like, forever. Fuck it, we'll use Cleave, why not? God damn it, Junpei. Oh, Jesus Christ. We're gonna remain on healing duty, I think. God, okay. I was like, oh god, we're... Okay, see our main character. Of course, this only means we only have one character doing damage, because everyone has to constantly heal. And keep in mind, I'm over-geared at the moment. Like, I'm geared with the best stuff you can get at this point in the game.
Just won't die. This is not good.
Yeah, these mini bosses will kick your ass. I think we can actually attack. Oh, god damn it. On one hand, I really like that these bosses are tough because it makes them out to be like actual challenges instead of just things you have to deal with. Like, if they are pushovers, you'd be like, why are these here? On the other hand, these are like super rough. Then again, if you know their weaknesses, they're not that rough, but I don't think we have anything to beat them with their weaknesses at the moment. Okay. Oh, bullshit. You're not... How many moves do you have? You have every element and you have healing? So look at this straight. They have like every different element. They have an attack all with wind. And they have healing. I call bullshit. I call bullshit on this. Okay, Junpei, kill this thing so we can keep going. Yeah, Persona 4 bosses are pretty good. They're pretty balanced compared to Persona 3. Persona 3 bosses are either like pushovers or they're just awful. Yeah, that's true. Persona 5 have interesting mechanics behind them usually that you can exploit, I guess is the best way to put it. How do I put this about Persona 3 bosses? Persona 3 bosses are either pushovers or they're agony. One of the two. Sometimes you have to fight multiple bosses at once. Or in a row. Which is not a whole lot of fun. So, like, we fight the first boss on its own. The second and third bosses are together. And then you fight, the Hierophant and you fight the Lovers, one after the other. So you fight the Lovers first, I think, and then you fight the Hierophant. I think. I might be getting those in the wrong order. But if you've been grinding, as you probably should be in this game, then you probably are over-leveled, and you shouldn't have an issue, but as I've shown, being over-leveled doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to have an easy time. Personally, I like grinding, mostly. It's all the stuff that, like, you have to do while grinding that I don't like. Because I'm going to have to come back here and grind even more when Elizabeth opens up all her stuff. But I want to do this now, because if I don't do it now, I'll forget about it. And I'll be under-leveled. Hate anything that's tedious? The thing about grinding in this game that makes it better is that once you become high enough level where the enemies are like one-hit kill, you can just rush through them, basically. And again, the other thing about this was when you're... The thing they used to make it less tedious was the ability for your allies to act on their own. So you didn't have to give them commands. You only had to worry about giving yourself commands. Of course, that could get you killed. As you can imagine, if your allies decide to heal or use items on somebody else, that means you can die. Because your allies decided to heal themselves and not you. So yeah, there's that. That's always a problem. But it did make the fighting usually less tedious, because your allies, you weren't in charge of them, you were only in charge of yourself. Alright, so the way this area usually works, or the way that Tartarus works, is that you go up 14 levels, and then there's a boss. And on the 14th level, you'll find you can't go any higher until the next moon phase. So you literally are stopped from, like, completing the whole dungeon. Oh yeah, these guys are weak to fire, I think? Or lightning. Oh, it's probably fire. It doesn't really matter, we can just kill them all anyway. Ooh, new persona. Okay. Alright, let's get Angel. Angel's like another healer. Just nice. Patra gem. I'm gonna totally forget that I have these gems. I know it. That's like the one thing about this game that I always forget, is that oh, I have gems to do things.
Better than I thought.
Okay, Monster Hunter just super repetitive. Okay, Monster Hunter is a game that I don't like. Not that it's bad. The thing I don't like about Monster Hunter is that it never feels like you're doing any damage. Like, you just wail on things, and the thing doesn't really react a whole lot, and it just kind of feels like you're beating on a wall. And you just keep beating on the wall until the wall dies. I don't know, when I played Monster Hunter Tri, and I was just kind of like, yeah, I'm over it. And I saw Monster Hunter World, and I basically saw the same thing. And I was just kind of like, eh. I really don't like damage sponges. Like, I can do grinding in this game because the battles take like 10 seconds. Like, in this game, grinding means 10 like, the battles usually don't take long, except for the boss fights. In Monster Hunter, the problem is that you have to spend like 30 minutes to an hour beating on a thing as it runs away from you constantly. And then you get to do it again. Like 40 times, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't have that kind of time. I think that's a similar problem to why I don't necessarily like MMOs too much. Because, like, MMO raids are kind of the same way, where you end up against bosses that are just filled with HP, and you basically just need to, like, endure them. Yeah, that's actually a good way to put it. Like, in Monster Hunter and MMOs, like, it's an endurance test. Like, they're testing your ability to endure the things you're fighting, basically. You need to last longer than they last, is essentially the lesson that they're trying to teach you. Where? Okay. I mean, you can get gear, like better gear, but getting the better gear requires you to have, like, fought the things that you get the gear from. So, like, yeah, endgame, you have better gear, but in order to get to that gear, you have had to, like, you know, killed the things over and over again. Like, yeah, gear's a huge component, but the problem is that to make the gear, you have had to kill the things you're making the gear out of. With lesser gear. Over and over again. Before you have enough of the things that you can then make the gear out of. So, the problem is by the time you can kill everything really quickly, you've had to suffer through the same things over and over again that you couldn't kill quickly. And that's kind of where my interest, like, died. I was like, yeah, I just can't do that, man. I can grind this shit all day because it doesn't take very much effort out of me. And there's a lot of RPGs that are like that, where the grinding portion of it doesn't require a huge, like, effort or time investment from me. Some people find that, like, kind of boring, I think because in Monster Hunter, the people who don't find it boring tend to be the ones who get, like, the excitement out of the anticipation. So like the challenge is killing it. And the fact that it constantly runs away builds up anticipation. And so when you finally kill it, you get that euphoria, where you're like, finally, I did it. You know, you get that kind of rush. And if you're like me and you don't have that, well, that's not what I want to do. Oh, one more. Awesome. Okay, anyway. So, like, if you don't get that, if you're like me and you don't get that rush, that excitement from, like, enduring and being able to defeat a thing, then you're not going to find a huge amount of love out of those. Listen, you. You want to set pattern when they'll use them? Yeah. That's true. But again, it's all about endurance. It's all about enduring and learning all those patterns. And learning all their moves, and that's just more endurance from doing it over and over and over again. It's your ability to do that and to withstand it. And I'm just not one of those people because, like, I would be, but the problem for me is that the gameplay isn't fun. At least not for me. The problem is that, god damn it. Like, the gameplay's just not fun. Okay, listen, you. There you go. There we go. Like, I know why it's fun for people. It's just not fun for me. Like, I get why other people like it. I mean, maybe if it was a bit more responsive and the enemies weren't like... Like, if the enemies weren't like damage sponges, I would probably find it a lot more interesting. God damn it, get back. Listen, you. Listen, you. There we go. Yeah, they don't get much experience, but I need the experience anyway. It's short and it's repetitive. I get that. I think for me it's because it takes so little effort that I like it. Because once you get to the point where you don't need to think about it anymore, you just hit triangle and you don't have to worry about it anymore. And for me, that's the kind of, like, the grinding that I got used to. I think part of it is that, like, I came of age in a different time, maybe. I don't know. I'm a big fan of old school RPGs where, like, you can just set your guys to auto and they'll just, like, attack for you, and so you're expected to grind a whole lot, but the grinding doesn't require a huge amount of effort. I don't know, I find it kind of almost cathartic in a way. Okay, we're gonna go back to the entrance really quickly. Because I'm pretty sure we're over-leveled, but... Casual simulation games? Yeah, I get that. I'm pretty much the same on that level. On that, we pretty much agree. I don't really look for a whole lot of difficulty in my gaming. Now let's get love me some Harvest Moon. I do too. I love those games, man. I love Harvest Moon 64 the most. Probably second by... oh, this guy. I forgot about this guy. Probably by the Game Boy Advance one. Second most. I guess Switch version. I feel you. I will say that the closest thing that is... God damn it. Okay, so the closest thing I think anyone's ever gotten to is... what's it called? Or at least on PC. I'm like, my brain is like melting. I'm like... Stardew Valley, that's it. That's what I'm thinking of. And that's close. Oh yeah, I forgot to block strike attacks. God damn it. I would say Stardew Valley is probably the closest thing to a Harvest Moon, but there's only one tiny problem that keeps it from being really good, in my mind. And it's that when you go inside buildings, time doesn't stop. That's like my one thing that I hate about Stardew Valley, is that when you go inside buildings, time doesn't stop. And so you're constantly on the clock when you're trying to do things in buildings. And I'm like, why is it this way? Why did you design it this way? If you change that one bit, I would be so happy. Like, if they changed that one thing, I would be so happy. But they don't. I'm very sad. Later Harvest Moons and SOS. Yeah. Yeah, I know, but that's why I like earlier Harvest Moons, because they're better. I like them in earlier. I like the earlier ones specifically because they have little things like that that make it easier to do things. And you're not constantly feeling like you're on the clock. Oh god. God damn it. Okay. Did not want her to die there. Okay, we need to heal me. As much as I want to heal her, I don't want to die here. Oh no, that was a good idea. I would be dead right now. Yeah, later versions do have cool stuff. I have not played Rune Factory. I probably should at some point. Let's heal you. Some way I need to play Rune Factory. I might stream it, honestly. Stop raising your attack. I might stream it. So here's the thing. I've been wanting to stream more. Like, I've been wanting to stream more, and I just haven't. I just haven't gotten around to doing it. And I was like, you know, I should just do it. I think part of the problem is I was worried that nobody would watch. I don't think it matters that anybody watches, but... Oh, yeah, I forgot. Can I make you panic? Let's see. No, he's panicked. That's... I didn't know that. I didn't know you could make this guy panic. Okay. Because all he uses is skills, so... If he's panicked, you can't use... I did not know you could do that. This fight would have been way easier if I had known that. Also, decreasing defense only lasts like one turn. What the hell? You can only do it once. Oh wow, this boss got really easy now that I learned you can make him panic. Jesus. Did not know you could do that.
That was a close.
Okay. That's pretty awesome. But yeah, I'll probably, you know what, I might stream that. I haven't actually gotten around to playing it, so it sounds like something I would probably enjoy playing. My Balm of Life, Soma. Now, I could just grind for another, like, 3 hours, but there's no real point in doing it. Wait, what? Oh yeah, there are more levels before you get to the, before I get to the, come back here. Oceans and RF4? Yeah, there's a lot of Rune Factories, apparently. There's a lot of them. Figure out what I can find for the DS or the Game Boy Advance, which are usually my go-to systems. I actually have only discovered PSP games like in the last 2 years. Because apparently a whole lot of games came out for the PSP that were released on like PlayStation and updated that I just never got around to playing. And this is one of them. Well, no, that's not true. I mean, I never played... I played FES, I never played the original Persona, so... Oh, god damn it. Stupid golden hands. Instantly running away. The Vita, the P. I never played anything on the Vita because I didn't have a Vita, which is sad because that's when Persona 4. That's what Persona 4 Golden came out on. And it's like, you see, when the PSP came out, I had no interest in old document number 1. Okay, so we're basically done here. Okay. I'm going to come back here and grind later when we need, when we get Elizabeth stuff. But we haven't gotten Elizabeth stuff, so there's no point in continuing to grind here for now. Considering we've already beaten the dungeon, we need parts of the dungeon we need to beat. It doesn't look like anybody gets tired, so... Oh, now we became tired. Okay. Oh god, not you again. God damn it, Kenji. You're the worst. The game's still late high school and college? I mean, I was playing, God damn it, Kenji. Fucking hate this guy. We'll see why. Phew, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. Geeked up when I eat here. Shut up and eat. You get very close. Man's gotta be aggressive nowadays. No, I'm not. Oh god, now we're friends with Kenji. Oh. Alright, I'll be honest. I played, my first, like, real gaming. Like, I was a PC gamer because my dad always liked to have a good PC. He didn't play a lot of games as we got older. But my first games when I was playing on PC were, like, Doom and, Quest for Glory 2. On, like, a way old, like, DOS computer. And ironically, he wouldn't let me play Doom, but he would as I got older, but he let me play, Return to Castle Wolfenstein. So it was totally fine for me to shoot Nazis. It just wasn't okay. It just wasn't okay for me to play Doom, apparently. Alright, so we're tired, so... Let's go out really quickly. Play Warcraft? Oh, that'd be nice. I haven't actually seen much of, like, the first Warcraft. Oh, it's Thursday. Damn it. Police open? Hi, police officer. I have a whole bunch of stuff to sell you. Don't ask where I got all these swords. Don't ask where I picked up all of these swords. I really do love the image in my mind of, like, your main character walking in. We want to keep these. With, like, 12 swords and being like, can I sell these to the cops? And the cops are like, yeah, you totally can sell us weapons. That sounds normal. This sounds like a completely normal thing for you to do. As I said, the police officers in Persona 3 are pretty awesome. They're pretty alright. Okay, we're gonna get rid of all the rancid gravy. Actually, do we need rancid gravy for something? I feel like we do. I always forget what we need and what we don't. P3 to P5, the view of the police changes? Yeah, it totally does. So, in P3, the police are, like, on your side, and you don't see, like, anything of them. Like, the police, like, have no factor in this game. Like in Persona 3, basically, they're, like, non-entities. Like, at all. Like, the police never question anything. And they're barely in the game. And then, in Persona 4, you have, like, a love-hate relationship with them. Let's pick up 9 of these, so we'll have 10 revival beads. Case of danger. We do want to buy cat food. We need, I think, 3 cat food? You need to feed the cat at some point. Let's buy some health ups. Let's buy some Patrogems. Yeah, I mean, like, Persona 5, they're like, yeah, fuck the police. The police are awful. We're probably never going to be enraged, but, you know, we'll buy 10 of these anyway. This is what I mean when I'm bad at keeping my money. I tend to buy way too much. Yeah, the social climate has changed in the last, area. Alright, I don't really want to do this. Japan? I imagine it changes a whole lot, because Japan's like... that increases that. I can't go into Club Escapade yet. Why is it there? This increases my courage. Yeah, why not? Like in Japan, like they're they have a 99% conviction rate or something, and they're like totally allowed to use like torture to like get things out and like deprive you of like sleep and food to make you confess. It's like, yeah, that doesn't seem normal. That seems kinda weird. God damn, I'm still tired. Time to use the bathroom. Oh, that reminds me, there's one more thing we can do. Because we're tired. One more thing we can do. Eric does it when we lie about it. Even we don't do it nearly as bad as they do. I mean, we do it. We still do it. But it's not like institutionalized where everyone's like, yeah, that's totally normal. Like, if you find out about it, you can get sued. In Japan, they're like, yeah, that seems normal. It seems totally normal. Like, oh, that's weird. That doesn't seem like... If you have a 99% anything, there's a problem. Like, if you get a 99% on, like a vote, no one would go, yeah, that vote sounds normal. If you got a 99%, like, success rate on anything, nobody would be like, yeah, that seems okay. Laboratory hallway. Yeah, that's true. America uses criminals as business and slave labor. Is it the lab? No, it's the damn, where is he? Where is he? Library. There he is, nurse's office. Okay, so so this motherfucker, Mr. Edogawa, a virus, a curse, or is it love? Try my new concoction. So our nurse is basically believes in magic and is absolutely 100% insane. Poison carrot, Erebane, rabbit's foot, finest alchemists. Absolutely. They're like, okay, fine, we'll drink it. And this increases your courage. For free. This doesn't matter if it worked or not, it matters as you survived. Good job, Mr. Edogawa. Saturn is calling, oh good. Anyway, I need to use the bathroom real quick, so I'll be right back. I need to go to the bathroom real quick. Yeah, okay. I've returned. Only I would drink a bunch of Gatorade and then ask the question, why do I need to go to the bathroom 3 hours in? Yeah. Yeah, let's get this back on. Anyway. Goddamn bed. Where was I? Oh yeah, that's right. I was dealing with insane scientist, alchemist man in our in our nurse's office. Okay, so the difference between Takemi in Persona 5 and Edogawa in Persona 3 is that at least in Persona 5, you're signing up for it. Okay, see you later. I don't know how much longer I'll be streaming, but thanks for coming out today. Considering I've gotten a huge chunk of, like, the early part of this game. I do not know what any of these do. No. Get out of there. Alright. Damn it, we're still tired. Wonder if I can fix that. What's the best way to move forward, I wonder? Alright. Actually, it's probably a good time to take a break and get food. Yeah, I'll probably do that. Alright, so let's cut this here, and then will probably come back and stream later, hopefully. I might stream this, I don't know if I will. I might stream something else. Yeah, we definitely want to go in as a customer. Good, now we're good. Yay! I didn't know that was a thing. Oh,
hey.
Oh, not yet. No point in doing that until Elizabeth opens up again. Okay, anyway. So, thank you for coming out. I will probably stream something else later. I don't know, maybe I'll stream Harvest Moon or something. I don't know. I haven't really decided. Kind of been interested in playing Persona 3 so far. Could go back and play Persona 1. Although I'm already like halfway through that game. I don't know. I'll figure out something. Anyway, see y'all later.